Now, what happens when we take on ourselves the mantle of being in unity with one another? Yes, there is a psalm that says, "Behold, how good and pleasant it is for brethren to live together in harmony." You see, whenever we begin to walk towards harmony and love towards others, guess what? Something happens, and I want you to watch this. We are attracting a light towards us. And here's the deal. That is the light of God that is responding to us, coming close to us, because we are becoming similar in our quality to that light. The trouble is, there is another dichotomy that comes with that. Usually, the closer the light begins to come towards us, there is a whole raft of other things that are not correct in our lives. They show up. It's like you have a room that was full of dust and dirt. You haven't looked into that for such a long time, and then one day you turn on the lights and you suddenly see all the dirt. But you were always in the dark, sitting in that room, not being aware that you have those dirt in that room. But when you begin to do good to others, the light begins to come towards you. Guess what? You now begin to see those dirty cupboards and those dirty floors and those dirty stuff around you that have always been there. This is a point where we begin to lament, we begin to complain, because it's uncomfortable to see this that we now have to deal with. How do we deal with it? You see, we begin to see things that are problems in our lives. Relationships that have not worked, relationships that perhaps we should never have entered into, actions that we took that caused us trouble, or that we lost in those actions. People that have been in our lives that have been doing stuff that are not pleasant to us. All of those that cause problem. And guess what? Now it's the time for you to invoke the sage's wisdom, which is love thy neighbor as thyself. Now we cannot do so by ourselves. Now the Attaining the World's Beyond book that I have been reading with other members of the Sage's Wisdom Book Club gives us a clue what to do. In chapter 5, it talks about prayers. That's the first go-to is prayer. When we pray for corrections of all these dirt that emerges from this room that we were in that room all the time, but in darkness. But the lights have now gone towards us, and now we can see that something is not right, that we need to correct. Rather than jump up and start blaming others and complaining and crying and lamenting, what the sage's wisdom say we should do is simple. We need to pray for correction. Here's the deal. Prayer heals. Prayer corrects. Prayer eradicates egoism in our lives. But prayer is the last thing that we want to do, because until a person recognizes they are helpless to change their lives for the best, what will they try to do? They will try to do it themselves, and in trying to do it themselves, they will find themselves taking the place of the Creator. And once you dethrone the Creator, you have no way to move forward in your spiritual life. So prayer becomes the go-to, because prayer is you saying, I cannot do it. I need you as the Creator of this world to help me to correct what I'm saying. So remember, prayer is your ultimate ticket towards correction. Prayer is always the tool that you should be anchoring and holding on to bring correction to humanity and the world at large.